All right, welcome to part 6 of the Building Better Athlete series, and this is all about how to get the most out of your training and always be ready to perform at your absolute best no matter what. So, if it wants to work. There we go. This slide is just a brief overview of everything we're going to talk about. So, for starters, in-season training. What are we trying to do? The main focus during the in-season is performance. That is our goal. We want to make sure that you're always able to perform. We want to maintain the weight, maintain the strength, and maintain the speed that we were able to create over the off-season. And the most important thing here is that we are not trying to do anything with body composition. We're not trying to gain weight. We're not trying to lose weight. From an off-season perspective, this is where we could get very, very specific. We could get goal specific, so that means we could try to get bigger, we could try to get stronger, we could try to get more powerful, and we could focus on individual things at each time. This is where we build you up and develop you into a brand new athlete, meaning we want you to be way, way better at the end of the offseason than you were at the beginning. That is the overall goal, right? That should always be the goal. This is bigger, faster, stronger. That is the main goal out of everything, is just get bigger, get faster, get stronger. This is where we can start losing weight or gaining weight depending on what you need for your sport. And the main aspect is we want to peak you for the season. We want you being the absolute best going into the season. Now, to start talking about in-season training, one main thing we need to say is do not limit yourself, okay? Yes, the goal is not to get better in the weight room during the season, but it's possible, and we're going to talk about that real quick. So the season is a time to focus on maintaining the strength and speed that you worked on during the offseason. Of course, we are trying to improve at the same time. However, with the amount of work you're putting in on the field, ice, or court, this can be very challenging and very hard to do. That's why the goal is, as long as you're not losing weight or gaining weight, depending on what you want to do, you're not losing strength and you're not losing speed, you're doing it right, okay? So in-season training, we are constantly working on strength, speed, and power with the goal to maintain everything we've done in the off-season. If we get better, that's an added bonus, all right? Again, with how many calories you're burning during your sport and how much you're tearing your body apart, it's just very hard to recover to see more results during the season. You're just doing too much, okay? Far too many athletes come into the season looking phenomenal, and then as time goes on, they begin to fall off, and they start to become almost useless whenever the season becomes the most important, which is playoffs. Our goal within season training is to dominate all season long. Now, this could be a number of different things. One, we do see a lot of athletes that just stop training during the season. That is the worst thing you can do from a performance side of things, because if you come out and you have the best start of the season of your life and now you're a player that we rely on by the end of the season when things get tough, you are not the same player you were months ago, and you're being relied on to do the same things. The expectations are now too high, and you created that for yourself. If you continue to train throughout the season to maintain everything you've done, by the time playoffs come, you are the same player, and you are going to make a difference on the field. All right. So what does in-season training look like? Training intensity is lower, but training volume is still high. What that means is training intensity is like how hard the workouts are. They're not that hard. They're shorter. They're 30 to 45 minutes compared to 60 to 90 minutes during the off season, okay? Training volume is basically how much weight is on the bar. That is still up. That is still high. We want to train heavy, and we want to train fast. The workload is just smaller. And what that means is about 4 to 6 exercises a day. It's nothing crazy. Our in-season program right now that we use, I'm actually going to move my head so you can see the next part. Our in-season program that we use right now is it's very condensed with an additional section at the end of each workout. And that additional section is like, if you don't have games this upcoming week, let's add a little bit more time in. But it's very condensed at the top. We get the important stuff in. If you have time for the other stuff, or if you have a lighter workload that week, we fit in the other stuff. Okay? The goal is to peak you every 4 weeks. Or if we get your entire schedule, we peak you for big weekends, big tournaments, big games, okay? Depending on the sport, of course. With that being said, we deload every 3 weeks. So what that means is 3 weeks of hard, intense work, but like heavy work, and then 1 week of like more of a deload where we're going lighter on the weight. It's more about mobility, more about flexibility. This is how you you continue to peak throughout the season. You don't train hard every single week because that's going to tire you out. You manipulate it based on your game schedule and your practice schedule. We do know a lot of sports practice every single day, but there's still some ways we can get into the gym, do two big lifts, a couple accessory exercises, so we're still preventing injuries, still making sure you maintain all the strength. But it is very important that we add that deload week in, so that way we're not overdoing it and you can still get the most out of everything. So now, if this wants to work, there we go. Off-season training. This is where the fun is, okay? Off-season training is broken up into 3 phases. Build, strength, power, okay? This is bigger, faster, stronger. This is how this works. You got to put on new muscle in order to get stronger. You got to make that new muscle stronger in order to produce more force. And the more force you can produce, the faster you become. Build, strength, power in that order, okay? We have another video, I think it's the first video in this, which is like how to become a standout athlete. And we go super in depth on how we structure our off season. So go back, look at that one. It is a little bit of a longer video, but I promise you it is worth it and you're going to learn a lot. But these are the goals throughout each phase during the off season. The build phase, it's higher reps, lower weight. The goal is time under tension. The goal is not weight on the bar. The goal is to add at least 10 pounds of new muscle and improve your base, which is the power position. We need that power position. And your power position is whatever sport you play, that position that your coach wants you in. Like from a baseball perspective, it's in that squat position, glove up, ready to go. Hockey position, bent over. It's the same position in all of your sports. And we need that base to be as strong and as explosive as possible. That's what we're doing in the build phase, on top of putting on new muscle. Strength phase, lower reps, heavier weight. We maximize total body strength to enhance your muscles to produce more force. Our goal here is to see what your body can do. Our goal is to max you out and see how strong we can get you so you could produce more force, which goes into the next phase. All right. Power. This is all about speed. It's low reps and fast reps. We used something called VBT training and contrast training in order to get the max velocity out of your muscles. The goal is maximum acceleration and top end speed. And the overall goal is peak you for the season. So things to think about. During the off season, performance isn't an issue. At least from my standpoint, my off season, I just dedicated to training. I played hockey whenever I was growing up, so I dedicated it to training, and I got on the ice once or twice a week to just work on some things. This is why we can push your body to the limits, and we can focus on body composition because you have to eat a lot in order to gain muscle, and that's going to slow you down a little bit. And then you're supposed to cut calories if you're trying to lose weight, which during a season of high intensity all the time, that's going to hurt performance. So during the off season, we can get very specific and we can attack certain things. During the season, we cannot take energy away from performance. So building muscle and maximizing strength is nearly impossible depending on the sport you play. Losing weight equals suffering performance. Just know that, okay? To see the best results, focus on performance and performance only during the season. That's it. That is your goal. It's performance. You're not trying to build muscle. You're not trying to get stronger. You're not trying to get faster. You are just trying to maintain what you have right now so we can focus on that later. And again, if you do see improvements, that's awesome. But it's not the goal, okay? And then focus on becoming an absolute beast and maximizing your body during the off-season and off-season only. This is just the way to get the most out of your body and have the best season after season. I do see athletes far too often like trying to gain muscle during the season and they have the worst season ever and then they think, oh, if I just put on a little bit more muscle, I'll be good, when that's not how it works. During the season, focus on performance. During the off season, focus on everything else. So if you want help maximizing your performance and talking to somebody about how to actually structure your in-season versus off-season, or to do it for you, simply reply to either the email you got this at, or shoot us an email at coachmike@durkinsportsperformance.com, or go to our website, which is durkinsportsperformance.com, to fill out the form under the link that says get started. All we'll do is schedule a quick phone call and talk details. We want to know more about you, what you're looking for, and we'll explain if we can help you or not, or if we can point you in the right direction. So thank you guys. I look forward to hearing from you, and we will talk to you soon.